Malala Yousafzai, Stories from Refugee Girls Around the World. Malala Yousafzai, the youngest Nobel Peace Prize laureate and an unyielding advocate for girls' education, has continued her mission on a global scale, including significant work in the United States. Her story is one of resilience, courage, and an unwavering commitment to ensuring that every girl has the right to learn. While her activism began in Pakistan, where she survived a near-fatal attack by the Taliban for advocating for girls' education, her impact has transcended borders, including a profound influence in the United States. After recovering from the attack in 2012, Malala's journey brought her to the global stage. In 2013, she delivered a powerful speech at the United Nations, declaring, "One child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world." This moment marked her emergence as a global advocate for education. In the years that followed, Malala co-founded the Malala Fund with her father, Jioddin Yousafzai. The organization aims to break down barriers preventing girls from accessing education and has supported initiatives in multiple countries, including the United States. The Malala Fund's work in the U.S. focuses on addressing educational inequities, particularly for marginalized communities. Recognizing that barriers to education persist even in developed nations like the United States, Malala has worked to highlight issues such as systemic racism, poverty, and gender inequality that disproportionately affect girls' access to quality education. One of the fund's initiatives in the U.S. involves supporting local advocates and organizations working to improve educational opportunities for girls. For instance, the Malala Fund has partnered with grassroots organizations to provide resources for underfunded schools, particularly in rural and low-income urban areas. These efforts include funding teacher training programs, supplying educational materials, and advocating for policy changes to ensure equitable funding for schools. Malala's presence in the United States has also included significant advocacy work. She has spoken at numerous universities, conferences, and public events, sharing her story and emphasizing the importance of education for all. Her speeches often draw attention to the interconnectedness of global education issues, reminding audiences that the fight for education is not limited by geography. In 2018, Malala embarked on a U.S. tour to promote her book We Are Displaced: My Journey in Stories from Refugee Girls Around the World. During this tour, she visited schools, met with students, and discussed the challenges faced by displaced and immigrant girls in accessing education. Her efforts aim to inspire young people to take action and advocate for their peers who face barriers to learning. Malala has collaborated with prominent U.S. leaders and organizations to amplify her mission. She has met with policymakers, including members of Congress, to advocate for increased U.S. foreign aid for education programs in developing countries. Her advocacy contributed to bipartisan support for initiatives like the Keeping Girls in School Act, which aims to address the barriers preventing girls from completing their education globally. Additionally, Malala has worked with organizations such as the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to promote girls' education worldwide. Through these partnerships, she has helped raise funds and awareness for programs that empower girls through education, including STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, initiatives aimed at closing the gender gap in these fields. One of Malala's most significant impacts in the United States has been her ability to inspire young people to take action. Her story resonates deeply with students, particularly girls, who see her as a role model for courage and determination. Through her speeches, books, and social media presence, Malala has encouraged young activists to champion education and social justice in their communities. The Malala Funds Girl program in the U.S. exemplifies this effort. The program identifies and supports young female leaders who are working to address educational challenges in their communities. These Gulmakai champions, named after Malala's pseudonym during her early activism, receive funding and mentorship to scale their initiatives and make a broader impact. Malala's work in the United States is part of her broader vision for a world where every girl has access to 12 years of free, safe, and quality education. She often reminds audiences that investing in girls' education is not just a moral imperative, but also an economic and social one. Educated girls are more likely to lift themselves and their families out of poverty, contribute to their communities, and drive progress in their societies. Her message has inspired countless individuals and organizations in the U.S. to join the fight for education. From students organizing fundraisers to policymakers championing education-focused legislation, Malala's influence continues to grow. Malala Yousafzai's story is a testament to the power of resilience and the belief that education can transform lives. Her work in the United States underscores the universality of her mission and the importance of addressing educational inequities wherever they exist. By championing girls' education and inspiring others to do the same, Malala has become a beacon of hope and a catalyst for change, proving that one voice can indeed change the world.